Welcome! New week, new set of tasks. I've grabbed my leaf rake because today marks the first day of operation clearing around the perimeter. So this is the bank. You may recall that I trimmed the tea tree. Now what I'm going to do is rake up these fallen leaves. I kind of start quite far from the house where it's sort of less important in terms of protecting the house from bushfire, and then I'll end up right close to the house, primarily under these big trees at the front, so that the closer I am to summer, the shorter the gap between raking leaves, so that it's as clear as it can be. And obviously this is all part of my Let's Save the House from Going on Fire project. When I did this the first year, it was absolutely horrendous, because obviously I can imagine it had never been done before. But it's become lighter and lighter work as time's gone on, so hopefully this won't take me long. The thing that's going to hold me up is that we can only go to the tip once a week because of Will's new work. So the good thing about that though is that it's highly unlikely that we'll have much of a fire danger period this year like last year because it's so wet. However, that's no excuse for complacency, so I must crack on and I'll catch up with you later. There we go. Sometime later, I've made my way as far as the tank, and I have accumulated all these little piles up and down the bank to make it easy for me to come and collect it. There's possibly more leaves there than you thought there might have been. I consider every single one of these leaves I'm about to take to the tip, to the green recycling, as a small victory against possibly the house burning down. Time to gather them up. I'm not sure if you were counting, I wasn't, but I think that's about 7 wheelbarrow loads later. The trailers all fill up, although do keep in mind this isn't the world's biggest trailer. Anyway, one down, several to come. Phase 2 of today. I thought I'd have a stab at plotting out the doughnut bed. I've got some stuff. I'm not sure if this will be appropriate. I might have to swap out the rope for string, and I may need to use an alternative system for marking the line, but I'm going to need to make a start. So it'll be in this sort of vicinity, and I need to take into account that I want a reasonable path between them, but it doesn't have to be enormous. I need to take into account that tree, and I need to take into account what I'll be developing here. It's a citrus grove, but I have got the space here for quite a decent sized flower bed, and I'm all for that. The more plants, the more flowers, the greater the variety, then the more birds, the more insects, the more cut flowers for the house, just the more attractive the surroundings. Let's see how this goes. I've made a start. I quickly wanted to show you this. As with any hobby, it is possible to get sucked into spending a lot of money on all the fancy equipment, but this is one of my favourite tools, and it's my trusty edging tool. I've had it for years, and as you can see, it's hardly very expensive. I doubt it's much more expensive now, and actually my other most favourite tool was free. Something someone left behind. That's my hand hoe. Anyway, don't spend a lot of money, it's not always necessary. I finished marking it out, and I'd be really interested to hear what you think. I'm not going to start digging it out until I've run it past Will, but I marked the boundaries with some concentric rings of soil, which I hope you'll be able to see. But this is the beginnings of the doughnut bed. The entrance to the doughnut bed will be here. This will be lawn, and this will remain as lawn. You'll be able to walk into the doughnut bed here, and then you come inside the smaller circle, and there'll be plants around the edge, and our intention is to put a bench in here and maybe a little water feature, and you'll be set looking towards the library. We thought that would be quite good because it's quite a discreet entrance. It means that anyone walking up the path or sat in their house won't be able to see the entrance, and anyone on this side of the boundary won't be able to see the entrance. But it means that also you'll be able to look inside when you're in the library, so that we thought that might be quite a nice thing to be able to do. I suppose the alternative is to put the entrance here so that this is your view from inside. Something to think about. And then this is the width of the bed, so it's probably 1.5 meters, something like that. And the thing about that that's important is that there's sufficient space to be able to walk the external perimeter. So past the lemon there, past my rapidly growing rosemary hedge. Enough space to be able to come and go from this gate. Enough space for this tree. then enough space here to easily be able to walk between the two. I think that works. Let's see what Will thinks later. Forgive my appearance, I've just been processing firewood. For those of you who maybe don't know, a bushfire went through my property, killed quite a lot of trees. I'm now felling them and using the wood to power my wood burning stove behind me, which powers our cooking and our hot water. But this is often the consequence. Anyway, that's by the by. I wanted to just quickly show you the progress that I'd made on the bright light on the Doughnut Bed. So I'll just head over there now. It's essentially not terribly too different from when you last saw it, but you can see it a little bit more clearly now. What I've done is I've gone round and just dug a spade's width around all of the perimeters, which meant that I could mow and I didn't run the risk of blowing my outline away and then having to start again. Excuse me, still not well. Anyway, that's the entrance. This is the bit where we'll sit in amongst the flowers, and this is the external border. We're also hoping to have some sort of small water feature in here. Well, if I take a seat, you'll get the idea. I don't think we'll be this low to the ground, but that's not the point. So we'll be surrounded by flowers. There'll be the gentle sound of trickling water in one way or another. Not a pond, just a little water feature with some flowing water powered by a solar pump. And then there'll be flowers all around you, plants and flowers all around you. Now all I have to do is dig out everything that is in the middle. And time is not on my side for lots of reasons. So that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spades widths. And lots and lots and lots around the edge. By the way, I was down the creek walk the other day doing some mowing, and 2 red-bellied black snakes came out of the woods and towards the fire break, moving at speed. One of them was gigantic and just went whoosh, and the other one was a little shy and sort of poked its head out and then retreated back into the undergrowth. Obviously, I've got no way of identifying them, but I do know that black snakes are territorial, so I've got a feeling they were a resident pair that would normally hibernate in the snake shed over winter, which is behind the topiary bay. But I think they hibernated elsewhere this winter. I don't know if they've been finding that too wet. It does get wet in there. The rain comes in down the slope. So maybe they would set seeking somewhere drier this winter just gone. So I'm wondering if there were any snakes in the snake shed after all. No point keeping an eye out for those. Oh, and I just noticed this before I go in for lunch. My yellow Aquilegia's come into flower. They had put on flowers before, but they were bitten off. That's probably a bowerbird. It did that. But I now got one in flower and at least 2 more flowers. Hopefully. That's great because I love Aquilegias. I got a lot of purple ones. I wanted some different colours. I like yellow flowers. I think they're very pretty. But hopefully, most importantly, this means that it will set seed so I can sprinkle Aquilegia, lemony joy all over this bed and my new bed too. Anyway, as I say, I'm off for a well-deserved lunch. Time to say goodnight. Can you see these peering eyes? Little Vita. Can you say goodbye? She'll sit here all night if we let her. She doesn't stay out all night. She loves staring at this. Don't you? Praying for mice. Good girl, Minty. Oh. Alright then. Bye.